You do this every single day. You flip a switch, flood the room with light, and never give it a second thought. But you are the exception to the rule. For 99% of human existence, that magic simply did not exist. At the moment the sun dipped below the horizon, the world plunged into a blinding, terrifying darkness. A darkness so absolute you couldn't even see your own hand in front of your face. For 300,000 years, your ancestors spent half their lives in total nothingness. No candles, no lamps, just you, the stars, and primal fear. So, what did they actually do during those billions of hours in the dark? The answer will completely shatter everything you thought you knew about human nature, sleep, and evolution. It all started with fire. Roughly 1 million years ago, inside Wonderwork Cave in South Africa, our ancestors subdued the flame for the very first time. And it wasn't just about surviving the cold. It was a complete deconstruction of time. Before that moment, humans lived strictly by the laws of the jungle. Sunset meant one thing. You climb a tree or find a cave, and you freeze. Moving at night was a death sentence. Our eyes are completely blind in the dark compared to the beasts that hunted us. Leopards, hyenas, wolves. They saw perfectly. But the campfire changed the rules of the game overnight. Literally, it created a dome of safety about 30 feet wide. Inside that circle, you live. Step outside, and you are prey. This is not a metaphor, even today. Anthropologists study modern hunter-gatherers and document that those who wander away from the fire at night are the ones who get killed. The fire dome gifted humanity something no other species ever had: extra time. Fire stretched the day by an extra 3 to 4 hours. And it was during these exact nightly hours that what we call humanity was born. In 2014, anthropologist Polly Wiesner published a groundbreaking study. For years, she recorded the conversations of the Ruhonzi, Bushmen, in the Kalahari Desert, one of the last groups on Earth, living like our ancient ancestors. What she discovered was striking. During the day, 80% of conversations were pure pragmatism. Who is hunting where? Which plants are ripe? Economics, logistics, survival. Daytime talk was work. But at night, around the fire, the entire dynamic flipped. Those same 80% of conversations transformed into stories, myths, adventures from distant lands, legends and jokes that made the whole camp roar with laughter. The campfire became the world's first classroom, the first theater, and the first church. By day, we survived. By night, staring into the flames, we learned to dream, think abstractly, and build human culture. But while some stayed awake sharing stories, a fascinating biological program was running inside the human body. A program we broke just a couple of centuries ago. You probably think humans have always slept for 7 to 8 hours straight. That is a lie. In 2001, historian Roger Eckertz shook the scientific world after digging through thousands of historical records from medieval court transcripts to Homer's Odyssey. Everywhere he looked, 2 terms kept popping up: first sleep and second sleep. Before the industrial age, humanity slept in segments. People went to bed right at sunset, slept for about 4 hours, and then woke up in the dead of night. For an hour or two, they stayed awake. They prayed, talked, analyzed their fresh dreams, or visited neighbors. 16th century physicians even advised couples that this midnight window was the absolute best time to conceive children, as the body was highly synchronized. After that, they went back to sleep for another 4 hours until dawn. This wasn't insomnia. This was our design. In 1992, psychiatrist Thomas Ware proved this experimentally. He placed volunteers in conditions of total darkness for 14 hours every night. No phones, no lamps, no artificial light. Within just a few weeks, their bodies automatically, without any prompts, returned to the ancient rhythm. 4 hours of sleep, 2 hours of waking, 4 hours of sleep, but the real shocker was hidden in their blood work. During that midnight waking period, the subjects' brains produced massive surges of prolactin. This is the exact same hormone released during deep meditation. The participants were experiencing a unique, almost sacred state of consciousness, peaceful, incredibly creative, and deeply calm. Artificial light robbed us of this state forever. What killed this evolutionary superpower? Our own success. In the 1600s, Louis XIV began lighting the streets of Paris to curb crime. Then came cheaper candles, gas lamps, and finally, in 1879, Edison commercialized the electric bulb. In the span of a single generation, 300,000 years of the night were erased. Did you know that the word curfew comes from the Old French couvre-feu? It literally means cover fire. In medieval towns, the evening bell rang to force everyone to put out their fires, not just for safety, but because the night was supposed to be dark. Night was a sacred time of vulnerability, rest, and mystery. Walking outside after dark without a lantern in medieval Europe was literally illegal. You'd be arrested as a criminal. We conquered the night. We flooded the planet with electricity and called it progress. Today, this artificial ocean of light, especially the toxic blue radiation leaking from our screens, inflicts daily violence on our biology. It aggressively shuts down the production of melatonin, the master conductor of human sleep. Your body is incredibly ancient. It is fundamentally incapable of telling the difference between an LED matrix and the midday sun. When photons strike your retina at 11 p.m., your primitive brain panics, assuming it's the middle of the day. Melatonin levels plummet, your sleep is hacked into fragments, and the circadian rhythms that took millions of years to perfect are thrown into chaos. Yet, you cannot simply erase biology. Scientists have proven that sending a person camping for just 1 week, completely stripping away electricity shifts their internal clock back by nearly 2 hours. The body immediately begins releasing melatonin at sunset, not hours into the night. 7 days without gadgets is all it takes for 300,000 years of evolutionary programming to reclaim its territory. We made a monumental mistake. We didn't just alter our sleep schedules. We completely erased an entire mental dimension from the human experience. That profound, meditative stillness in the dead of night, which once restored human sanity, has been utterly eradicated. In its place, modern civilization has handed us a diagnosis: insomnia. We swallow sleeping pills and rush to doctors, genuinely convinced that our bodies are broken. But what if your insomnia isn't a disease at all? What if waking up at 2 a.m, only to lie there in the quiet darkness, is not a system malfunction? What if, in that exact moment, your body is simply remembering what it was engineered to do?